5:37. Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Welcome on in. It is Thursday, right? I didn't shank the day. All right, Thursday. June 26th of 2025. Earlier, Joan, you know how when you're monologuing and you've got all of these things in your head and then you throw down that it's Thursday and then in the back of my mind, I'm like, crap, is it Thursday? That's when
You got it right, Dan.
That's when I immediately go to the super text line to see if anybody is fact-checking me on the day of the week. By the way, good morning to Holloway Services. Every morning I look forward to Holloway Services telling us good morning. So thank you for listening.
They always send something in the text line, don't they?
They do. And you know what? I mean, people don't think that we care about the super text line. We really do. One of the things I've noticed is that as I watch folks, watch other hosts on the super text line, watch the super text line. If you watch us on the camera, you'll see that we're always looking to our left or to the right, depending on who's on the air. And we're always checking the super text line. The reason, you know why I check the super text line? To make sure that I haven't screwed anything up, like, for example, the day of the week. But sometimes, see, now people have begun to troll me as I'm on the air, and they'll say something that I screwed up when I know darn right well that I didn't. That's exactly funny. Right. See, that's what they do. Real quick, because I want to get a few things out of the way. So apparently in the news today, and I'll get into this in a little deeper here in a little bit, but apparently President Trump, he is expected to make a decision. Right now, he is contemplating on whether or not he should give Ukraine more Patriot missiles. Now, this is after the president has been saying for a long time he wanted to get us out of Ukraine, and he wants that whole thing to be over with. And now the word is that he may be thinking about giving Ukraine some of these Patriot missiles. So I'm wondering where the audience is on this. It is the Daily Dan poll of the day. Should Donald Trump give Ukraine more Patriot missiles? I think what's going on is that Trump is getting tired of this BS. I think Putin's on the crap list. You know what I'm talking about? Where first it was Zelensky, now it's Vladimir Putin that's on the crap list. And I think that Trump is tiring of this. And I think maybe what Trump might be doing now is wanting to give Ukraine more weaponry to finish the job. That's the only thing that I can think of. This is what the president said about this reach out from Vladimir Putin. Listen to this. It was, of course, in regards to Iran, but I love what President Trump said.
Called the other day, he said, "Can I help you with Iran?" I said, "No, you can help me with Russia." No, I consider him a person that's, I think, been misguided. I'm very surprised, actually. I thought we would have had that settled easy. I've settled 4 of them in the meantime. But he did call up, and he said, he's close to Iran. He'd like to help us get a settlement. I said, no, you help me get a settlement with Russia. And I think we're going to be doing that, too.
So a couple of things. Number one, President Trump is set to meet with Iran next week. And I don't know about Vladimir Putin, but that is our Daily Dan poll. Watch us on YouTube. Like and subscribe to the channel. If you would, give the host a thumbs up. What are the numbers so far on the poll, which is, should President Trump give Ukraine more Patriot missiles?
Yes. So right now it's 63% no to 37% yes.
That doesn't surprise me. You know what? We should have done the poll. Joan and I should have competed like we have done the last couple of days. With you not here, Joan, it's a little discombobulating.
Yeah, I know.
When you're not home. By the way, did you actually see the daddy moment when who is the guy that called Trump? He didn't call him daddy, but you know what I mean.
He's the Secretary General of I want to say the G7. I want to say the UN. No, but it's who were they meeting yesterday?
The NATO.
So it's the General Secretary of NATO, Mark Rutte.
And I guess he is he's a big Donald Trump fan. You told me.
He acted like it. He was fangirling all over President Trump.
Fangirling.
Yeah, all over him during this press conference.
Well, we played some of that audio yesterday, as a matter of fact. So if you follow me on X, you will see the video, and I love this. you will see the video that Trump's team put together. I think is that Usher?
Sounds like it could be.
KGB, is that Usher?
I cannot confirm nor deny. I don't know.
So I'm told that is Usher. Anyway, so Usher has that song, Daddy's Home, and it's a video montage of Donald Trump and the administration doing what he's doing. Went viral, of course, when this was posted yesterday. And I love it. So follow me on X at Dan Manda Show, and you can see that. And I think that it's a great video. Now, one of the things that Trump said is that he doesn't need a peace deal with Iran. Now, I'm going to tell you, and that might be a Daily Dan poll question for later on in the morning, but I think that is crazy. I think that we do actually need a peace deal with Iran, even if it doesn't mean anything to Iran. I think that we need a peace deal. The president was asked about this. Basically, he says, well, no, I obliterated their nuclear abilities, so I really don't need a peace deal. You actually do. First of all, we don't have peace right now. We have a ceasefire. That's number one. Number two, Trump is going to be speaking to them next week, apparently, saying he doesn't need a peace agreement because he destroyed their nuclear program. But here's the thing, and I've been saying this since day one. Iran needs to promise no attempts at manufacturing nuclear weapons. But Dan, they can lie about it. I understand. They need to promise not to fund terror and eliminate funding with Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthi rebels. Iran needs to say, we are not going to do that any longer. We're not going to be a state sponsor of terrorism. But Dan, they can lie about that. I understand. Which is why any deal, and we need to have a deal, needs to promise and demand total and complete transparency. That's the reason we actually need a peace agreement, because you can't trust Iran. And so it's all about the transparency, and it is all about the access. It's all about the access to the nuclear facilities. We need access to their finances so that we can ensure that whatever funding they're getting, for example, President Trump said earlier this week, he's fine with Iran and China doing business with each other and Iran selling China oil, for example. And I got to tell you that I was not happy with that either. And the reason I'm not happy with that is because, and I've been very consistent on this, you cannot help Iran's economy because you know what they're going to do. You know that they're ultimately going to finance terror. So this is at least to me, this is a very, very big problem. So we'll have to see where the president goes. But I do believe that you don't even have to call it a peace deal. You can call it a transparency deal. And a lot of people have been talking yesterday after we got off the air. We were discussing this yesterday morning where, okay, so if the nuclear facilities are not totally damaged, well, then all you got to do is just go right back in. That's not a problem whatsoever. And so for me, I think that this is one of those moments where we have to decide, okay, we can't just bomb and run. We've got to bomb, eliminate their facilities, their nuclear facilities, which I believe that we have, but then you've got to bomb them again if we need to. And we've got to demand complete and utter transparency. We'll have to see where this goes. All right, Joan.
Yes.
We were talking about the new mayor, not officially yet, but the guy who is set to become mayor of the city of New York. His name is Zoran Mamdani. Is that what we're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Zoran Mamdani?
Getting to know you.
Oh, boy.
Getting to know all.
Man, the more I learn about this guy, he is a whack job.
We have won because New Yorkers have stood up for a city they can afford. A city where they can do more than just struggle. And it's where the mayor will use their power to reject Donald Trump's fascism, to stop masked ICE agents from deporting our neighbors and to govern our city as a model for the Democratic Party.
So there is now a lot. First of all, if you, again, go to my X feed at Dan Manders Show, there's a video of this guy, Mamdani, and he is trying to get to Tom Homan. He is trying to, and this was before, I mean, I didn't know who he was. I'm familiar with this video. I didn't know who he was. But you've got ICE agents who are trying to keep him away from Tom Homan. He wants to fight him.
Yeah.
If you want to go see the video, it's on my X feed at Dan Manders Show. This headline from the Wall Street Journal. Wall Street panics over prospect of a socialist running New York City. Listen to these quotes from Wall Street's most powerful. Now, the left, they're dismissing these quotes from Wall Street's most powerful because, of course, they're millionaires and billionaires. But Wall Street is worried about this. It is officially commie summer, says Dan Loeb, chief executive of the hedge fund Third Point. Another, Steven Starker, chairman of Investbank BTIG, wrote in a text message to the Wall Street Journal, no bueno. Another guy, Anthony Pompliano, CEO of a major Bitcoin-focused financial services company, says this, I can't believe I have to say this, but socialism has failed in every American city we have tried. Now, these are all people that are, people that work on Wall Street. They've got a lot invested in the city of New York. They've got offices there. They run their business out of New York. And now you have a socialist running the city. But here's a soundbite that caught my eye, where he was asked if Benjamin Netanyahu would be welcome in New York. Here's what he had to say.
As mayor, New York City would arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. This is a city that our values are in line with international law. It's time that our actions are also.
Even though the U.S. is not a signatory to the ICC?
No, it's time that we actually step up and make clear what we are willing to do to showcase the leadership that is sorely missing in the federal administration.
So the ICC, of course, the International Criminal Courts, and this guy, of course, is a big-time BDSer, boycott, divest, and sanction Israel. So if you know what the BDS movement is, that is right up there with Ilhan Omar. That is right up there with Tlaib. But what's her name? Tlaib. What's her name? Rashida Tlaib.
Yeah.
AOC. A lot of these Democrats are in the what's that? KGB.
I was like, should we just call her Cuckoo Lady instead?
We can call her Cuckoo Lady. Of course, with the Democrats in
Doesn't
Congress,
narrow it down.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be more specific, man. So if you know anything about the boycott, divest, and sanction movement within the Democrat Party, what they want to do is they want to destroy Israel's economy. And this guy, everywhere he's gone, he has been a big-time advocate of the boycott, divest, and sanction movement. So the new mayor of New York, if he indeed gets in, which I think he probably will, unless New York comes to its senses, this is going to be a big-time issue. Another hedge fund manager, Ricky Sandler, says he will actually probably move his family and his company out of the city of New York and the state of New York as well. Do you know one of the things that he wants to do?
What's that?
He wants to implement city-owned grocery stores.
Grocery stores. Can you imagine?
Listen to this.
It doesn't need to be this way. I'm Zahran Mamdani, and as mayor, I will create a network of city-owned grocery stores. It's like a public option for produce. We will redirect city funds from corporate supermarkets to city-owned grocery stores, whose mission is lower prices, not price gouging. These stores will operate without a profit motive or having to pay property taxes or rent, and will pass on those savings to you.
So can I ask a question? So how are they possibly going to do that? But basically what you're doing is you are going to force the likes of Walmart. You've got all of these local bodegas that they have in New York as well. You're going to force them out as well. And so what you're doing is you're undercutting these mom and pop stores or these, bigger box stores like Walmart. You're undercutting all of that. But then if you think about it, is this going to work? Is a city-owned grocery store actually going to work? Now, obviously, no profit, no competition, pure socialism. But when you're, part of the Democrat Party, Who's going to work there? Because you know that it's going to have to be union, right? That's number one. Number two, they're going to have a minimum wage of, I don't know what, 30, 40, 50 bucks an hour, right? Because that's what the Democrats advocate for. The bad guys in town, they'll get to shoplift at this city-owned store, and they'll get to get away with it. Why? Because, well, you know, the cops are bad. And this guy, the new mayor of New York, he hates police. So you can't call the cops when the bad guys come in and they steal. They'll probably send maybe some social workers along. But you see where this is going, right? It's not going to work. And if you really want to, you know, cut the legs out from the stores and the bodegas run by families and business owners that have been in these communities and served these communities for years, and this guy is just going to put them out of business.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
So that is the new mayor of New York.
No, the election hasn't happened.
No, it's going to happen November. I want to say it's November 4th.
Right.
But
so the other potential people who will run here, Cuomo may come back as an independent.
Indeed.
Eric Adams says he will challenge this guy as an independent.
Mm-hmm.
And Curtis Lewa is once again, the Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just never been successful, but maybe this is his day.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. I think that in New York, this is what is going to happen. This guy's going to win the election, and it's going to be November 4th. You've got Jim Walden, an independent, Eric Adams as an independent, Andrew Cuomo running as an independent. Cuomo got like 36% of the primary. I don't know about this guy, but and by the way, this came out of nowhere. This guy and his success. By the way, real quick, Matt Murphy, of course, everyone knows that Matt Murphy is not here, but something happened yesterday as Chris Hand was filling in for Murphy's show. I want to play something for you. This was actually left up on the computer by accident. I was in bed. I don't know what the heck they were doing yesterday as Chris was filling in for Matt Murphy. But apparently Murphy's show is right at 17.9 thousand X-followers. And apparently he is begging to get to 18,000.
Oh, boy.
Hey, I just noticed that I'm almost at 18,000 followers on Twitter, so I decided to run a Chris Hand in for Matt Murphy afternoon special that if you're the 18,000th follower of Matt Murphy on the X machine at Matt Murphy Show, you'll win yourself little shoulder pieces. Disclaimer, I don't actually have the shoulder pieces.
Right.
But I think I can probably get them, but I'm not really sure. And I'm also on drugs.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I don't know if that affects the contest in any way.
Duty.
But just go over and follow me on the X machine or the Twitter, whatever you call it. And then, find out for yourself. I mean, if you're the 18,000th, let me know. And then we'll work something out. I'll get you some shoulder pieces.
There you go, because,
I swear.
Shoulder pieces.
That's what everybody wants is some Matt Murphy shoulder pieces.
And then he fell right back to sleep.
Officer, I can do that test. No problem.
The funny thing is, he did all that, and he's still at 17.9. So I want to make it my mission this morning that, and KGB helped me out by monitoring, I want Matt Murphy's 18,000th X-follower to happen in the next 4 hours, next 3 hours now. So follow him on X at Dan Manda Show. Then maybe he'll give me the bone chips, the Murphy bone chips.
Ew.
Sure, because that's really what I want. Hey, Joan, what's coming up at 6?
Well, you remember the man who threw Molotov cocktails at the people who were demonstrating in Boulder, Colorado? I've got an update on what police have found to bolster their prosecution of this guy and evidence that donuts and burgers don't mix. Those stories are coming up here at 6 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.